unidentified flying objects UFO Day 2 July. Okay, World Unidentified Flying Objects Day is observed every year on July 2. On July 2nd, the day commemorates the two important days, which are the first widely reported UFO sightings in the world. The first sighting was reported on June 24, 1947, when an aviator, Kenneth Arnold, claimed to have seen what looks like a flying saucer. The second incident under the UFO talks was at Roswell, New Mexico on July 2nd. Okay, crisis cuts India's GDP growth estimate to 7.3% for fiscal year 2023. Rating agency CRISIL has lowered India's real gross domestic product growth forecast for 7.3% from 7.8% for fiscal year 2023. According to the agency, inflation is pegged to average at 6.8% in fiscal year 23, as against 5.5% in fiscal year 2020. It also estimated the current account deficit to widen to 3% of GDP in fiscal year 23, from 1.2% in fiscal year 2022. The agency expects global crude to average between USD 105 to 110 per barrel in fiscal year 23. Michelle Poonawalla received the coveted Shiromani Award. Michelle Poonawalla received the Shiromani Award at NRI World Summit 2022, United Kingdom, in July 2022. She has been awarded for her contribution to the field of art. In addition to Poonawalla, the Shiromani Award was also awarded to Sri Sandhu Brahmvihari, Lord Rami Rangar, Rita Hinduja Chhabria, Dr. Kamel Hothi, OBE, and Faguni Sen Peacock. Okay, CSIR, CSIO Chandigarh, and EIL Inc. an agreement. Okay, CSIR, CSIO Chandigarh, and Engineers India Limited, New Delhi, have linked an agreement. Under this agreement, CSIR, CSIO, and EIL will jointly commercialize the technology of earthquake warning system. Okay, CSIR ESIO developed EQWS is in operation for Delhi Metro Rail Corporation since August 2025. It is a network of 5 seismic sensing nodes. Air Marshal A.P. Singh appointed as AOC in Sea Central Air Command. Air Marshal A.P. Singh has assumed the appointment of Air Officer Commanding in Chief, Central Air Command, on 1st July 2022. For his distinguished service, the Air Marshal was awarded with Ati Vishisht Seva Medal by the President of India on 26 January 2019. He also led the MiG-29 upgrade project, the management team at Moscow, Russia. Okay. Union Minister Piyush Goyal launches a 3-day Grand Hackathon. A 3-day Grand Hackathon organized by the Open Network for Digital Commerce in collaboration with NABARD was launched by Union Minister Piyush Goyal on 1st July 2022. The Grand Hackathon is subdivided into two categories: Agri Grant. The Grant Hackathon is subdivided into two categories: Agri Grant Challenge and Agri Innovation Hackathon, that will showcase the innovations to aid the adoption of e-commerce in the agriculture sector. Okay. Department of Telecommunications signs agreement with ITI Limited and BSNL. Okay, Department of Telecommunications has signed an agreement with Indian Telephone Industries and Limited and Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited (BSNL). It will fund the pilot projects of E-band LTE indigenous technologies, including integration of 4G 5G prototypes with CDOT core, Astrom Technologies, Lekha Wireless Solutions, Resonus Technologies, Signaltron would be excluding these projects. Okay. AAI Science Agreement with the Government of Uttar Pradesh. Airports Authority of India has signed an operation and management agreement for operationalization of 5 airports owned by UP government for a period of 30 years. Okay, Airports Authority of India has signed an operation and management agreement for operationalization of 5 airports owned by UP government for a period of 30 years. These 5 airports are Aligarh, Azamgarh, Chitrakoot, Mirpur, and Sravasti. Okay, AAI, very important news. Airports Authority of India, AAI, Airports Authority of India has signed an operation and management agreement for operationalization of 5 airports owned by UP government for a period of 30 years. These 5 airports are Aligarh, Azamgarh, Chitrakoot, Mirpur, um, and Sravasti. Communication navigation surveillance services will also be provided by AIA. Communication navigation surveillance services will also be provided by AAI, for which state government will enter into a separate agreement. Okay, ये लेपिड becomes 14th Prime Minister of Israel. फिर से ले इतनी जल्दी. Yair Lapid has become the 14th Prime Minister of Israel. He is a veteran journalist who served as an alternate PM in the now disbanded coalition. He also became the first Israeli premier to appoint a woman to head his office. Nama Skulj is appointed to become Director General of the PM's office. Nama Skulj is poised to become Director General of PM's office. Okay. Naftali Bennett will remain in the government as Israel's alternate Prime Minister. T. Rajkumar takes over as President of FATF. The President, Indian origin T. Rajakumar has taken over as President of Financial Action Task Force, the world's anti-terrorism financing agency. Very important, very important. T. Rajakumar has taken over as President of Financial Action Task Force, FATF, the world's anti-terrorism financing agency. He succeeds Dr. Marcus Player as the chief of the FATF and will serve a 2-year term. FATF is a global watchdog tasked with combating money laundering and terrorist financing. Okay. Niti Aayog releases compendium of various Ayush-based initiatives. Niti Aayog released a compendium of various Ayush-based initiatives in July 2022. The compendium was released by Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog, Suman Beri, and Minister of State for Ayush, Dr. Manjpara Mahendra Bhai Kulbhai. The compendium provides information about practices adopted by state and UTs for strengthening countries' fight against COVID-19 using Ayush resources and interventions. Okay. Ketanji Jackson becomes first black woman judge in US Supreme Court. Very important. Ketanji Jackson becomes first black woman judge in US Supreme Court. Ketanji Brown Jackson on 13 June 2022 became the first black woman judge to serve on the United States Supreme Court. Her nomination as a Supreme Court judge was confirmed by the United States Senate on April 8, 2022. Jackson is also the sixth woman justice in the U.S. Supreme Court. Sixth woman, sixth woman justice in the U.S. Supreme Court. She replaced Justice Stephen Breyer, who has retired. Okay. Sandeep Kumar Gupta to be next chairman of GAIL. Sandeep Kumar Gupta. Sandeep Kumar Gupta, Director for Finance at Indian Oil Corporation, has been picked to head India's largest gas utility GAIL. देखो संदीप कुमार गुप्ता डायरेक्टर फॉर फाइनेंस एंड एट इंडिया ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन IOC has been picked to head India's largest gas utility GAIL Limited. He will replace Manoj Jain, who is scheduled to retire on August 31st, 2022. Mr. Gupta has been Director of Finance of IOC since August 3, 2019. GAIL is India's largest gas transmission and gas marketing company. GAIL is India's largest gas transmission and gas marketing company. Okay, GAIL headquarters New Delhi. World Sports Journalist Day, 2nd July. Every year on July 2nd, the World's Sports Journalist Day is observed globally to recognize the outstanding efforts of the journalists who bring the world of sports closer to its viewers. Okay, the International Sports Press Association established this day in 1994. Okay, the day also commemorates the formation of the AIPS that took place back on July 2nd, 1924. AIPS headquarters Switzerland. Okay, Engineers India Limited signs agreement with CSIR and CSIO. तो इसमें देखते हैं इंजीनियर्स इंडिया लिमिटेड न्यू दिल्ली एंड CSIO चंडीगढ़ on 13 June 2022 signed an agreement for joint commercialization of the earthquake warning system. This agreement will not only help save lives in future but also help both organizations to increase the scope of application areas. CSIR CSIO has engaged EIL as the technology commercialization partner for the next 5 years. India and Australia hold 9th Army to Army stop talks in Dehradun. India and Australia hold 9th Army to Army staff talks in Dehradun. The 9th Army to Army staff talks between the Australian Army and the Indian Army were conducted in Dehradun on 29 June 2022. Okay. Talks were held at India Military Academy IMA Dehradun and both sides reviewed roadmap for activities promoting defense cooperation. Australian Army delegation is on a visit to India from June 25 to August 1st, 2022. Agreement and MOU Memorandum of Understanding IIE Guwahati and IIM Shillong impact to boost entrepreneurship. Okay, the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship IIE, and the Indian Institute of Management IIM Shillong has signed an agreement on 1st July 2022. The objective of this partnership is to encourage entrepreneurship, incubation and startups in the northeastern region. Okay. As part of the agreement, both institutes will share infrastructure facilities like laboratories and libraries. Okay. India gets 1.75 billion World Bank loan for health and private investment. The World Bank on 1st July 2022 approved loans totaling $1.75 billion to fund India's PM Ayushman Bharat scheme and private investment to boost economic growth. Of the total loan, in of the total loan, of the total loan, of the total loan, of the total loan, 1 billion will go towards the health sector, while the rest is 750 million dollar will be for the private sector investment in the economy. World Bank headquarters, Washington DC. World Bank President Malpass. David Malpass. Okay. Government approves financial assistance for journalists under JWS. Central government has approved a proposal for the Journalist Welfare Scheme (JWS) committee to provide financial relief to the families of 35 journalists who have lost their lives. It includes 60 families of journalists who died due to COVID-19. The families will be provided with assistance up to 5 lakh. The JWS Journalist Welfare Scheme Committee is headed by Secretary I&B Ministry Apurva Chandra. Okay, Commission approves Google Bharti Airtel deal. Competition Commission of India has approved Google's proposed acquisition of a minority stake in Bharti Airtel. Google International Limited LLC and Airtel have entered into an investment agreement to buy a minority and non-controlling stake of 1.28% of equity share capital in Airtel. Both companies, through their affiliates, have also entered into certain commercial deals. Okay. DRDO conducts successful maiden flight of a demonstrator. First flight of autonomous flying wing technology demonstrator was carried out successfully by DRDO from the aeronautical test range Chitradurg, Karnataka on 1st July 2022. The name unmanned aerial vehicle is designed and developed by Aeronautical Development Establishment, Bangalore, a premier research laboratory of DRDO. It is powered by a small turbofan engine. India's largest floating solar plant commissioned in Telangana. India's largest solar plant commissioned in Telangana. NTPC has commissioned India's largest floating solar power project. The 100 megawatt floating solar power project has been operationalized at NTPC Ramagundam. The total commercial operation of floating solar capacity in southern region is 217 megawatt. The total installed capacity of NTPC has reached 69,134.20 megawatt, having 23 coal based, 7 gas based on 1 hydro and 19 renewable energy projects. Okay. Renewable energy project. Government authorizes SBI to issue and in cash electoral bonds. The Union government has authorized the State Bank of India for issue and in cash electoral bonds through its 29 authorized branches from 1st July 1st to 10th of July 2022. The electoral bonds will be valid for 15 calendar days from the date of issue, and no payment will be made to any pay political party if the electoral bond is deposited after expiry of the validity period. Okay. Neeraj Chopra clinches silver medal at Diamond League meet. Neeraj Chopra clinched his first ever medal at the prestigious Diamond League meet in Stockholm on 30 June 2022. Chopra finished second at the Stockholm Diamond League with a massive throw of 89.994 meter. Anderson Peters won the event with a best throw of 90.31 meter. Chopra broke his own national record of 89.30 meter that he set as the Pavo Nurmi Games in Turku earlier in June 2022. National Chartered Accounts Day 1 July. 74th Chartered Accounts Day was observed on 1st July 2022. The day is celebrated by Institute of Chartered Accounts of India. ICAI was established by the Parliament of India in 1949. It is the second largest accounting and statutory body across the globe. The day is celebrated by Institute of Chartered Accounts of India. ICAI was ICAI was ICAI was established by Parliament of India in 1949. It is the second largest accounting and statutory body across the globe. In India, ICAI is the only licensing and regulatory body for the financial audit and accounting profession. GST Day 1 July. India celebrates July 1st as the GST Day to commemorate the implementation of the Goods and Services Tax that replaced the old indirect tax regime in the country. It was launched on July 1st, 2017. It is a multi-stage indirect consumption-based tax system that subsumes a host of domestic indirect taxes such as service tax, value added tax, excise duty, and other under one head. Ban on single use plastic comes into force in country from 1st July. Ban on manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale, and use of identified single-use plastic item has come into force from 1st July 2022 across the country. Ban on manufacture, import, stocking, distribution. देखो इम्पोर्ट बनाना, स्टॉकिंग रखना, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन देना, सेल बेचना, एंड यूज़ ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइड सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक आइटम्स has come into force from 1st July 2022 across the country. Single use plastic are those items that are used only once and discarded. National and state level control rooms will be set up for checking illegal manufacture and use of banned single of the effective enforcement of ban. Nirmala Sitharaman releases the Business Reform Action Plan 2022. देखो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर निर्मला सीतारमन on 30 June 2022 released the Business Reform Action Plan BRAP 2020 in New Delhi. In the report, 7 states Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Punjab, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu have been identified as the top achievers based on the implementation of the BRAP. In the report, states UT have been replaced under 4 categories. Once again, we will read this. Nirmala Sitharaman releases the Business Reform Action Plan 2020. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on 30 June 2022 released the Business Reform Action Plan 2020 in New Delhi. In the report, 7 states Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Punjab, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu have been identified as the top achievers based on the implementation of BRAP. In the report, states and UTs have been replaced under 4 categories. Okay. UP government to issue family cards to every family in the state. The Uttar Pradesh government is going to issue cards to each and every family in the states. These cards will be known as family cards, and with the help of these cards, the government will identify the families who do not have any government job or any kind of employment. The government will try to provide a job, employment, or self-employment to at least one member of such families. National Doctors Day. 1st July, National Doctors Day, which highlights the contribution of doctors in society, is celebrated each year on July 1st in India by the Indian Medical Association. Its its celebrations in India began in 1991 to honor Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, a famous physician and freedom fighter whose birthday and death anniversary both fall on July 1st. Okay, the theme of 2022 is Family Doctors on the Front Line. Eknath Shinde takes oath as the new CM of Maharashtra. Eknath Shinde was sworn in as the new Chief Minister of Maharashtra on 30 June 2022. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari administered the oath of office to Mr. Sindhe. He has become the 20th Chief Minister of the state. Besides Mr. Sindhe, Devendra Fadnavis was sworn as the Deputy Chief Minister. Eknath Sindhe has replaced Uddhav Thackeray, who resigned from the post 29 June 2022. International Day of Parliament, 13 June. On June 30 each year, the Inter-Parliamentary Union celebrates International Day of Parliament. The celebration highlights the importance of the Parliament in securing the democratic rights of citizens. The day was established in 2018 through a UN General Assembly resolution. In 2022, the day was celebrated under the theme of public engagement. Okay, Eknath Shinde. BESCOM develops EV Mitra mobile app. The Bangalore Electricity Company BESCOM has developed the EV Mitra mobile app to provide information about EV charging stations in Bangalore. The app can be used by electric vehicle users to book in advance a slot in the stadium. BESCOM has started 136 charging stations in Bangalore and another 152 such stations will be started soon. Inter-Parliamentary Union celebrates International Day of Parliament. The celebration highlights the importance of the Parliament importance of the parliament importance of the parliament in securing the democratic rights of citizens. The day was established on 2018 through a UN General Assembly resolution. Okay, in 2022 the day was celebrated under the theme of public engagement. बेस्कॉम डेवलप्स ईवी मित्र, ये हमने पढ़ ही लिया. इंडियाज फर्स्ट fractionally owned solar power plant launched by PICE. An investment platform PICE has launched India's first fractionally owned solar power plant in Karnataka. The solar power plant is a 26 crore project with an average investor ticket size of 25,000. The project is backed by more than 600 real investors and is equipped to supply solar power to manufacturing plants. PYSE helps retail investors invest in social impact projects. Novak Djokovic, first player to win 80 matches in all 4 Grand Slams. Important, very very important. Novak Djokovic, first player to win 80 matches in all 4 Grand Slams. Novak Djokovic of Serbia has been the first player in the history of tennis to win 80 matches in all 4 Grand Slams. ठीक है, Novak Djokovic of Serbia has been the first player in the history of tennis to win 80 matches in all 4 Grand Slams. He achieved this feat when he defeated Kwon Soon Woo of South Korea on day 1 of the Wimbledon Tennis Championship 2022 in London on 26-27 June 2022. Wimbledon. Okay. Wimbledon Wimbledon Tennis Championship 2022 is in London on 27 June 2022. DJ Kovic was playing for the first time since losing to Rafael Nadal in the French Open quarter-finals in May 2022. NASA successfully launches Capstone mission. NASA successfully launches Capstone mission. NASA launched a Capstone CubeSat to moon from New Zealand on 28 June 2022. Capstone circular cislunar autonomous positioning system technology operations and navigation experiment is a capstone cislunar autonomous positioning system technology operations and navigation experiment is a microwave owned sized CubeSat weighing just 55 pounds. Okay, it will study a specific orbit where NASA plans to build a small space station for astronauts to stop at before and after going to moon's surface. Yeah, it is very interesting. It will study a specific orbit का स्पेसिफिक यानी कि विशेष तौर से अध्ययन करेगा स्पेसिफिक ऑर्बिट वेयर नासा प्लान्स टू बिल्ड अ स्मॉल स्पेस स्टेशन फॉर astronauts to stop at before and after going to moon's surface. Balaji Allianz launches industry first global healthcare plan. Balaji Allianz General Insurance on 28 June 2022 launched a new health insurance product, Global Healthcare. It is a comprehensive health indemnity. It is a comprehensive health indemnity insurance product that provides seamless cover to the policyholders for planned as well as emergency treatment availed for domestic and international uses. Balaji Allianz General Insurance has collaborated with Allianz partners for this product. Iran and Argentina apply to join BRICS group of emerging countries. Iran and Argentina. Iran and Argentina. Iran and Argentina apply to join BRICS group of emerging countries. The two new countries, Iran and Argentina, have applied to join the influential BRICS Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa grouping. Both the countries applied for membership after the recent 14th BRICS summit, which was held from 23 to 24 June 2022 under the chairmanship of President Xi Jinping of China. 23 to 24 June 2022 under the chairmanship of President Xi Jinping of China. First BRICS Summit 16 June 2009. Russia, South Africa joined the group in 2010. Winners of first Kempegowda International Awards announced. S.M. Krishna, N.R. Narayan Murthy and Prakash Padukone have been selected. For the first edition of the Kempegowda International Award. The award has been instituted by the Karnataka government beginning in 2022. Karnataka Chief Minister Biswaraj Bommai presented the award on 27 June 2022 to mark the 513th Kempegoda Jayanti. The award carries a cash prize of 5 lakh. Astronaut Day. International Astronaut Day 13 June. International Astronaut Day 13 June. ठीक है. International Asteroid Day is an annual UN sanctioned global awareness campaign event observed on June 30. It is observed on the anniversary of the Tunguska event in 1908 when an asteroid traveled about 2150 square kilometers of forest in Serbia. International Asteroid Day aims to raise public awareness about the asteroid impact hazard. Okay. The theme of 2022 is Small is Beautiful. MHI and MSDE sign MOU to facilitate training in engineering trade. ठीक है. MHI and MSDE sign MOU 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 to facilitate training in engineering trades. Ministry of Heavy Industries and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship signed an MOU to create a collaborative ecosystem for imparting skill development training in the capital goods sector. The partnership is aimed at facilitating training in several engineering trades through qualification packs developed by MHI related sector skill councils. Cabinet approved categorization of CDRI as an international organization. Cabinet approved categorization of CDRI as international organization. Cabinet approved categorization of the Coalition of Disaster Resilient Infrastructure CDRI as an international organization. It also signed HQA with CDRI for granting it the exemptions under the UN Privileges and Immunities Act 1947. Categorization provides an independent and international legal persona so that it can efficiently and effectively carry out its functions internationally. Okay. Cabinet approves strategic partnership agreement with ARENA. Union Cabinet approved a strategic partnership agreement signed between the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, India, and the International Renewable Energy Agency. The agreement was signed in January 2022. The aim of the agreement is to drive ambition, leadership, and knowledge on green energy transitions based on renewable energy in India. It will help India's energy transition efforts. Cabinet approved MOU with the Republic of Singapore. Union Cabinet approved an MOU between the Department of Science and Technology of the Republic of India and the Ministry of the Trade and Industry of the Government of the Republic of Singapore. Cabinet approved MOU with the Republic of Singapore. Union Cabinet approved an MOU between the Department of Science and Technology of the Republic of India and the Ministry of Trade and Industry for the Government of the Republic of Singapore. It is on cooperation in the fields of science, technology, and innovation. It was signed in February 2022. MOU will create an ecosystem that will promote innovation and entrepreneurship in both countries. Raja Krishnamurthy won Democratic nomination for Congress. Delhi-born Raja Krishnamurthy has won the Democratic primary for a congressional seat in the U.S. Krishnamurthy won from Illinois and successfully overcame a highly communal campaign run by his opponent Junaid Ahmed. R. Krishnamurthy defeated Ahmed with over 71% of the votes. Krishnamurthy has been serving as the U.S. representative for Illinois' 18th Congressional District since 2017. International pension system. Central government revised pension compensate benefits. The central government has the central government has revised pension family the central government has revised pension, family pension, and other compensate benefits being given to the central government employees and their dependents under the 15th and 16th and 17th Central Pay Commission. The Ministry of the Personnel and Pensioners Welfare has issued revision of pension of pre 1996 pensioners, 5th CPC pre 2006 pensioners, 6th CPC, and pre 2016 pensioners, 7th CPC. UK offers 75 fully funded scholarship for Indian students. The UK government the UK government partnered with leading business in India to offer 75 fully funded scholarships for Indian students to study in Britain. Companies like HSBC, Hindustan Unilever, Tata Sons are supporting the initiative to celebrate India's 75th year of independence. The British Council in India is offering 18th 18th scholarships for women in science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. sworn in President of the Philippines. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has been sworn in as the President of the Philippines in Manila. He succeeded the outgoing President Rodrigo Duterte. Sara Duterte, the daughter of the ongoing president, is being sworn as a vice president. Philippines country, Philippines peso. ISRO launches rocket PSLV C53. Indian Space Research Organization launched the rocket PSLV C53 carrying the three Singapore satellites. Launch vehicle lifted off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sri Harikota. 6 nano satellites, including those belonging to India's two private space startups, also went to space. PSLV C53 is the second dedicated commercial mission to the New Space India Limited. PM Narendra Modi launched RAMP scheme. Okay. PM Narendra Modi launched the Raging and Accelerating MSME Performance RAMP scheme, capacity building of first time MSME exports scheme and new features of the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program PMEGP. He also addressed the Udyami Bharat program in New Delhi and said the micro, small and medium enterprises sector accounts for almost one-third of India's economy. India successfully tests high-speed expendable aerial target Abhyas. India on 29 June 2022 successfully tested the indigenous designed Abhyas, a high-speed expendable aerial target. The test was carried out by the Defence Research and Development Organisation from the Integrated Test Range in Odisha, Chandipur. Abhyas is developed by Aeronautical Development Establishment DRDO. The aircraft is programmed for a fully autonomous flight. Government approves deregulation of sale of domestically produced crude oil. The Union Cabinet on 29 June 2022 approved the deregulation of the sale of domestically produced crude oil. The decision will be applicable from 1st October 2022. All exploration and production companies will now be free to sell crude oil from their fields in the domestic market. At present, The central government decides which state-run refinery gets how much crude from each producer. Union Cabinet. Union Cabinet approves. Union Cabinet approves computerization of PACS. The Union Cabinet on 29 June 2022 approved the computerization of 63,000 functional primary agriculture credit societies with an overall budget outlay of 2,560 crore rupees. The move will benefit 13 crore farmers. It will help in improving the outreach of the PACS as outlets for banking activities as well as non-banking activities, apart from improving digitalization in rural areas. NIUA, C-Cube and WRI India launch coalition platform for urban NBS. Okay, urban NBS. The National Institute of Urban Affairs Climate Center for Cities and World Resources Institute, India on 29 June 2022 launched India's first national coalition platform for urban nature-based solutions (NBS). It was launched at the 11th World Urban Forum in Poland. Okay, nature-based solutions are fast emerging as sustainable ways to address climate change induced challenges. SPAC's begins authorization of Indian space startups. The Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center in Space on 24 June 2022 authorized two Indian private firms to launch their payloads. It marked the beginnings of private space sector launches in India. These two firms are Dhruva Space of Hyderabad and Digantra of Bangalore. The payloads of these firms would fly on board of PSLV C-53 scheduled to the launched on 30 June 2022. Four Indian cities among top 20 sustainable cities in Asia Pacific. Four Indian cities, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad and Mumbai, made it to the list of top 20 sustainable cities in the Asia Pacific region according to the latest report. The report titled Active Capital Asia Pacific APAC Raging Capital in Uncertain Times has been released by Property Consult Knight Frank. Singapore, Sydney, Wellington, Perth and Melbourne are the top 5 green rated cities. T-Hub 2.0 World's largest innovation center inaugurated in Hyderabad. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao on 28 June 2022 inaugurated Phase 2 of the T-Hub Technology Hub in Hyderabad. The facility will support over 2,000 startups under one roof with a total built-up area of 5.82 lakh square feet, making it the world's largest innovation campus. The first T-Hub was launched in 2015 on the campus of IIT Hyderabad under the name of Catalyst.